All right, in today's video, I'm gonna share with you a strategy that I promise if you implement this into your eBay business, that it will generate more sales for you. And there are no tricks, no gimmicks. You don't have to promote listings. You don't have to run sales. You don't have to try to figure out a way to game the eBay algorithm. There are no tricks in this strategy or method, but I promise you it'll work. And I can say that because I have been selling on eBay for over 13 years. I've sold over 50,000 items and I've generated more than $1 million in revenue on eBay. And I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just letting you know this because I promise what I've learned will help you grow your eBay business and it will make you make more sales on eBay. Now, when I started selling on eBay, every year I made more and more sales. I broke my previous year's sales record every single year until about 2 years ago where my sales sort of plateaued. They leveled out and I wasn't making more money than I did the year before. So what it made me realize is that if I wanted to make more sales on eBay, I had to change something in my business or implement something new to help myself grow and improve my eBay sales. So I started to try to do different things, and in that experimentation, I learned something that was really groundbreaking that helped me increase my sales well over 25 to 40%. And I'm gonna share with you what that is right now. So when it comes to making money on eBay, everybody knows that the more you list, the more you sell. It's that simple. You list more, you're gonna make more money. But what a lot of people don't realize is that having just that kind of broad approach really doesn't give much direction or much focus or target on improving your eBay sales. So what I learned 2 years ago is that if I started to really track and monitor my progress in my listing, that I was able to better and more effectively set goals and watch and chart my growth in how I grew my eBay sales on eBay. So every day when I decided it was time to list products on eBay, what I started to do was keep track of the dollar amount of items that I listed. For example, if I listed this part right here for $20, what I would do is I would take a piece of paper, I would grab a pen, and I would write down how much I listed that item for. So for example, I said that costs $20. Even if I listed it for like $20 and 5 cents, I would round to the nearest whole number. And what I would do is I would take that number and I would write it down on a blank piece of paper right beside my listing station or wherever I'm working on listing my items. So that one item, I'm just gonna write down $20. And then if I were to take another item, say for example this hat, and I list it for $15, maybe let's say for example I listed it for $15.90. Now I'm gonna round up and I'll say that I listed it for $16. The exact dollar amount all the way down to the penny doesn't really matter. All that matters is you're getting kind of a general idea of how much you're listing each item for. So like I said, if I list this for $16, I'm gonna take the $16 and add it to the $20 that I listed my first item for. So now I have a total of $36. So what I like to do is I like to cross off that 20, and now I would write down 36, or the total dollar amount of what I've listed that day. And then if I were to take one more item, say for example, if I list this Apple Watch, maybe for like $200, if I were to list it for $200, I'm gonna add that once again to my total. So now I'm gonna cross off 36 and I'm gonna write down $236. Now, if you haven't already figured out what I'm doing, I'm monitoring my progress of my listing every day that I list items on eBay. And before I go any further, I can already hear people in the comment section saying, why are you doing that? Don't you know that eBay has reports that you can run? And don't you know that you can go into Seller Hub and check out your total value of dollar amounts of the items that you've listed on eBay? And yes, I already do know you can do all that. And I use all of those tools all of the time. But what I promise, what I'm showing you right now is something different if you keep following along with what I'm about to show you and say. Now, there's a reason why I'm having you keep track of the amount of things that you're listing, the dollar amount, because what you're gonna do at the end of the day when you're done listing all of your items on eBay, you're gonna take that total number and you're gonna get yourself a calendar and you're gonna write that number on the date of the day that you're listing. So for example, if this was the beginning of February 1st, I'm gonna take my total dollar amount and I'm gonna write down 236 in the box for February 1st. And then I'm gonna keep on doing that for the rest of the month. If I list on the 2nd, like $500, I'm gonna take 500 and I'm gonna put it in the box. I'll continue doing that through the rest of the entire week. And then when I get to the end of the week, I'm gonna add up all of the days for that week and I'm going to make the total over here on the side and I'm gonna circle that total. So now I'm focusing on how much I listed that entire week. So now I've gone ahead and I filled out every day this entire week. and I've totaled the total dollar amount over here in the margin of the paper. And what I like to do is I like to circle it just so I know that that's the total sum for the entire week. So this week I listed $2,261 in my eBay account. The week before, since I started on the 1st and there was only one day, I listed 236. So let's go ahead now and keep on pretending like, I went ahead and finished out all of these days. I'm gonna just write some pretend numbers. I know they're probably not gonna add up, but I want you to see what I do when I've totaled every single day for the month. So what I've done, as you can see, is I've calculated the amount I've listed for every day, every week, and for the total of the month. So what this does is when you kind of map everything out on one piece of paper for the entire month, is it gives you a very valuable snapshot of all of your listing practices. In a real quick glance, you can see what days maybe you weren't very productive, when you were, and you can kind of start to develop patterns and trends in your listing habits. And then, not only is that powerful because you can see what you've actually done, but it's also very motivating because it gives you a specific eye target of basically trying to set goals for the future. For example, whenever I look at a calendar and I see that I have a lot of days that I haven't really done a lot of work that week, it really motivates me the following week or even the following day to try to step up my game and list more items on eBay. And to show you just how effective this is with my own eBay listing habits, I'll show you when I started here back in August of 2023. Back in August of 2023, I listed $6,771 worth on eBay. And then the following month, I doubled my productivity. I listed $14,529. And then every month thereafter that, I was more motivated to try to improve and try to beat my previous record of the following weeks, months, and as you can tell, it worked. October 2023, I listed $21,562. And that continued every month until the end of the year, all the way up into December of 2023. When I realized that potential that this simple practice offers in terms of growing your eBay business, I kept doing it. I did it the entire year for 2024. And if I were to look at my total dollar amount that I listed for the entire year in 2024, coming all the way down here to the end of the year in December. In December of 2024, I listed $236,889 for that entire year, which is probably the most I've ever listed in 1 year total in all of my 13 years on eBay. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is, once again, not to brag, but to show you the power of monitoring your progress, tracking your growth, and really paying attention to your listing habits. Because when you do so, you're able to easier set goals, you're easier to track how you're actually doing, and it motivates you to work harder and to list more on eBay. Because everybody knows the more you list, the more money you're gonna make. You can't make any money on eBay if you're not listing product. But if you're listing, and you're listing more aggressively, you're listing more focused, and you're doing your best to try to kind of improve your listing habits, you're going to have more productivity, you're going to improve your eBay sales. And if you don't believe me, like I said, back in 2024, when I listed over $236,000 on eBay, think of it like this. If all of those things were to sell, that's my max potential for profit that I can make. I can't make any more than that because I haven't listed more than that. But likewise, if I would have listed $500,000 this year, I have $500,000 worth of potential of income that I can make on eBay. So if you're keeping track of your listing, you're going to really kind of get some insight of how your business is doing, and it's going to result in you making a lot more sales on eBay. And one more thing, as I was saying at the beginning of this video, this is a lot different than all of the reports that you can populate and generate in your eBay Seller Hub, because this is actually keeping track of the progress that you're doing of listing your items before they ever even hit eBay. And as I showed you, it's super simple and easy to do. It doesn't take up much time. It's something that doesn't cost anything to implement into your listing habits. I mean, you can literally print a calendar out from your computer at home, or there's even, if you do a quick Google search on Google, you can find companies that will send you calendars for free in the mail if you want a hard copy or something that's gonna be a little bit more bound and a little bit easier to kind of pull and grab while you're listing. Now, if you have any questions about anything that I mentioned or may have forgot to mention when I was kind of going over this strategy in monitoring your eBay listing progress, feel free to drop a comment down below, and I promise I'll try to do my best to answer any questions or to, help you out with anything you may need if you're trying to implement this into your eBay business yourself. And if you enjoyed what you saw in this video, I make videos like this all the time. My entire channel is focused on how to help eBay sellers become better at what they do. It's my passion, and I love helping and teaching others. So consider subscribing if you're not already a subscriber. If you hit that notification bell, it'll notify you anytime I drop a new video like this one. And once again, thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best, and I can't wait to see you on the next video. Bye, guys.